Before Ana and Pedro ever met, both of them had already been called. Ana dreamed of a river under the full moon. Pedro heard the sound of running water where no river existed. Neither understood what was happening, but both were being led to the same place, the Light of the Path Spiritist Center. Before Ana ever met Pedro, something inside her had already begun to awaken. It started as a dream. Night after night, she found herself standing by an old river under the full moon. The air was cold, the water moved slowly, and a golden thread of light floated across the surface, like a path calling her forward. On the other side, there was a man. She could never see his face clearly, but the feeling was always the same. She knew him. In the dream, Ana wore clothes that did not belong to her time. A simple white dress moved with the wind, and the village behind her looked old, almost forgotten. The man across the river lifted his hand, as if asking her to come closer. Ana tried to call his name, but no sound came out. Then, just before waking, she heard a voice whisper through the water, "Look for the house of light." The next morning, Ana could not forget the dream. It followed her through the day like a memory she had not lived yet. While searching through an old box her grandmother had left behind, she found a faded photograph. It showed a small white building with a quiet garden, flowers near the entrance, and a peaceful doorway that seemed strangely familiar. On the back of the photograph, written by hand, were the words, "Light of the Path Spiritist Center." Pedro's calling came differently. He did not find a photograph. He did not understand it through memories. It began with a sound. In moments of complete silence, he would hear running water. Sometimes at work, sometimes while driving, sometimes late at night, alone in his apartment. There was no river nearby, and yet the sound was clear. It was always the same river, moving somewhere inside him. Days later, Pedro entered a small spiritual bookstore without knowing why. He had passed by that street many times, but that afternoon something made him stop. He walked between shelves of old books, candles, prayer beads, and quiet music until one title caught his attention: Reincarnation and Bonds of the Soul. When he opened the book, he felt the same ache from the dream, as if something inside him had recognized the page before his eyes could read it. Days later, Pedro entered a small spiritual bookstore without knowing why. He had passed by that street many times, but that afternoon something made him stop. He walked between shelves of old books, candles, prayer beads, and quiet music until one title caught his attention: Reincarnation and Bonds of the Soul. When he opened the book, he felt the same ache from the dream, as if something inside him had recognized the page before his eyes could read it. An elderly woman standing nearby watched him with a gentle smile. "Sometimes," she said, "we do not find certain books. They find us." Pedro looked at her, surprised. Her name was Dona Rosa. She spoke with calm certainty, as if she already knew the storm he carried inside. Before leaving, she handed him a small card. On it was written, "Light of the Path Spiritist Center." Pedro held the card in silence. Somehow, he knew he was supposed to go. Ana arrived at the Spiritist Center a few days later, just before sunset. She told herself it was only curiosity, but deep inside, she knew it was more than that. As she passed through the garden gate, the scent of white flowers surrounded her, the same scent from the dream. Dona Rosa was waiting near the entrance. She opened her arms with a warm smile and said, "You took some time to arrive." Ana stopped. "Do we know each other?" Dona Rosa answered softly, "Not yet." Not in this life. During the meeting, Ana sat quietly among strangers, trying to understand why her heart was beating so fast. Dona Rosa spoke about memories that do not belong to the mind, but to the soul. Then the door opened. Pedro entered the room, uncertain, holding the small card he had received at the bookstore. Ana did not see his face immediately, but she felt the air change. Pedro stopped when he saw her. Neither of them spoke. Still, something ancient recognized itself. When their eyes finally met, it did not feel like meeting a stranger. It felt like remembering someone their souls had never truly forgotten. A soft golden light seemed to move between them, invisible to everyone else, but undeniable to both. Dona Rosa watched in silence. She knew the calling had brought them there for a reason. Ana and Pedro had found each other again. But before they could understand why, they would need to look back into another life, a life where their story had begun and where a promise had been left unfinished.